The golden years, the ultimate destination of older adults as they mature into a new life phase. Some reach this utopia secure, comfortable, and satisfied, with the time and resources to do the things that make their lives meaningful. There are 77 million post-World War II Americans born between 1946 and 1964. These baby boomers are the single largest group of individuals in the United States, and soon they'll enter their golden years. Yet for many in this baby boom generation, there is a destructive hazard along the way, a hazard that may lurk beneath the surface and remain misunderstood, mistaken, or mishandled. A hazard in the form of drug and alcohol abuse. Because such behavior is often silenced by ignorance, shadowed by shame, or shrouded in denial, this substance abuse has become a hidden epidemic. In the next 16 years, boomers will turn 65 at the rate of 8,000 per day. By the year 2030, boomers between the ages of 64 and 84 will represent 20% of the total U.S. population.
There is a significantly higher level of the use of substances, and this is a variety of substances, in this baby boom generation compared to individuals who are in the 65 plus age group now. I think it would be almost even a conservative estimate to say somewhere between 4 and 8 million individuals at the present time have some type of substance use problems, and this also includes problematic use of alcohol. If you just look at substances other than alcohol, we're probably talking about somewhere between 2 and 2.5 million. That's still a very high number. In part, it's a generational effect. Older people don't just become the way they are all of a sudden at the age of 65, or people don't become the way they are suddenly at the age of 50. They really continue the habits that they have developed earlier in life. And the current baby boom generation, they just overall, over many years, have taken more substances. These have been illicit substances, and they've been prescription substances. They've used more medications, and so we think that's one reason, is that they just will continue to use medications at a higher level than our current older individuals. And we find that in this 50-plus age group, probably 2/3 or close to 2/3 of individuals drink on a semi-regular basis.
So our brain doesn't tolerate medications as well as we get older. There's a lot of things that happen to our brain. It slows down a little bit. And so any substances, whether they be prescribed medications or alcohol or marijuana, are going to affect the brain preferentially. A good example of that is that you can put somebody in a driving simulator, and a day after they've had 1 or 2 beers still show impairment in an older adult. So the effects of these medications, the effects of alcohol last much longer and have much higher rates of complications for our brain. Another area that we see that often is in falls. So a lot of older adults, as we age, we're not as stable, our gait is not as stable. Many of these medications and alcohol markedly increase our rates for falls, which then increase the rates for things like hip fractures and other fractures. So the head is a particularly vulnerable part of our body. The other thing that happens as we age is that our ratio of water to body mass changes in a way that normally is doesn't really matter, but what it matters in terms of drinking is that the volume of distribution changes. So if an otherwise equally healthy individual that's 20 drinks a beer and a 70-year-old drinks a beer, the 70-year-old is actually going to have a higher blood alcohol concentration from that drink than the 20-year-old. And it just really has to do with physiology. It has nothing to do with tolerance or whether the person can control their drinking or not.